Hi, welcome to my humble kitchen. My name is Ravenna, Miceli, and today I'm going to be cooking a traditional Greek dish, and it's a rustic take on spanakopita, Greek spinach pie. And this rustic take has cornmeal for the crust, top and bottom, instead of the traditional phyllo dough, which is that thin layered dough. So it's fast, it's easy, and it is so delicious. And I'm going to incorporate some of my Italian heritage into this traditional Greek dish because I'm half Greek and half Italian. So you'll see as I go along. And I like to use organic ingredients, so I'm going to tell you what the main ingredients are. It's spinach, and here it is. I rough chopped this spinach, which means this is a little unorthodox, so schooled chefs are freaking out here. But I chop it with a pair of scissors. It's cleaned, it's washed, and it is fresh, and this makes it easy to incorporate into the cheese, which is also a component of this spinach pie, Plastos. So it's Plastos, I think, is from the islands, and my family is from Sparta and Athens. So this is not traditional in my family, but I've had it and it's delicious and you're going to love it, and it freezes well. So spinach, main ingredient, cornmeal, and I used Bob's Red Mill medium grind whole grain corn, and this is wonderful, and it gives it a little grainier texture, which I'm cooking the cornmeal now. So cornmeal, 2 cups or so, and 2 cups of milk, and I'm going to stir this. It'll thicken up in about 5 minutes or so. And that's the component for the bottom of the crust and the top of the crust in Plastos. And also cheeses. I use a Greek Kasari cheese, and I just grated it. And then feta cheese, which traditional Greek cheese, Kasari, and this is the feta, which I will hand crumble. And this is the Italian part of the Plastos today. This is ricotta. And this is a beautiful, fresh ricotta, and it's very low in salt. I'm not going to add any other spices or salt to this dish because these 2 cheeses, the Kasari and the feta, are loaded with salt, so that's enough. And then 2 eggs, and let's see, 2 tablespoons of butter and olive oil to get started with this cornmeal, and that's just about it. And this is thickening up beautifully. You want to take a look at this. And this has to be thick enough to spread with my fingers or a rubber spatula. Hi, I'm just going to wash my hands because I'm going to be getting the cheese ready, and I'm going to be using my hands to crumble it. So, I want to make sure my hands are nice and clean. Hey, I've gotten the baking dish greased. I sprayed oil on it, olive oil. So this is ready to go. And the Plastos crust, cornmeal and milk, olive oil and butter, is thickening up nicely. Can you see how this is just looking good? This is the consistency we want. And I scrape the bottom so it doesn't stick. And I have it on a low flame. I had it on high. As soon as I put it in there, I turned it down to medium, and it's on low now, and I'm turning it off because this is ready, and it'll be ready to spread. And now I'm just lightly whisking these eggs, and these eggs are beautiful, locally raised Amish eggs from Holmes County. And I got all of these ingredients, for the most part, at the local West Side Market in Cleveland, which is celebrating 100 years this year, 2012. So come on to Cleveland, that's where I'm located. And I'm doing this with my hands. My hands are clean because I just washed them. So now I'm incorporating the feta and the ricotta together. This is going to melt beautifully. And here we go with the Kasari, which I shredded earlier. Temptation to nibble as we cook here, and I'm resisting. Okay, now I'm going to take these ingredients, the eggs and the cheese, This rubber spatula is my friend I'm incorporating. And this looks really good. And then I'm going to put the spinach in. I like to fold and mix really, really well. All right, here I go. I'm putting in the spinach, the spinach here. I just love this Rustic Spinach. It is so good, and I love saying Plastos. And you're going to love it because this is such an easy dish. And I had some pasta last night, and I sauteed some red onions. I have the red onions left over, so I'm just going to use that in here too for a little extra flavor. And nutmeg is called for, just a dash. You can tell I'm not big on measuring because in my family, they really didn't write down recipes and they didn't have exact measurements. So I'm going with it on this dish because it's rustic. And now the cornmeal has cooled slightly and it's thickened up beautifully, and I'm going to layer it here in the pan. And I'm going to just put a dollop and a dollop because I want to save enough for the crust on the top, so sort of smooth it out. And now the filling goes in. A pound of spinach, freshly chopped, and I don't cook it because I'm lazy. So the spinach will cook up beautifully, and I think it would be just a waste of time to cook it. I'm just smoothing it out, using my hands a little bit to help me out here. Now, the crust will go on. I don't like to waste anything here. Here we go. I'm ready to put the top crust of the Plastos on, and sort of move it along here. And spread this out. And I'm sure many of you grew up the same way I did, with the different ethnicities not having specific recipes. So it's a little challenging, but it does make it fun too, because you never know what you're going to get. Although I've made this dish many times, so I can tell you it's delicious and it will come out really great. You will be amazed. I'm going to cook it between 375 and 350. I don't want the bottom to burn, so you'll have to keep that in mind, for about 30 minutes. So just keep an eye on it. If it smells like it's burning, move it to another shelf. The top should be a light brown. Okay, I'm ready to put the Plastos in the oven. Oh, I have it at 350. Bottom shelf. It is gorgeous. Ready, 30 minutes or so. And I'm going to do some cleaning up because remember Saturday Night Live's The Anal Retentive Chef? That's me. I don't have a cleanup crew. It's me and cameraman Steve. I'll be back. The Plastos is ready, and here we go. All right, you'll notice I moved it up a shelf, and here we go, Plastos. Wonderful. You can see how crusty it is. I said rustic, and it is, and look at this. It's gorgeous. You can see these ingredients. Okay, very hot, gorgeous, warm. Look at this end, how crusty it looks. And then I'm going to come in on this side, and you can see spinach, 3 cheeses. So good. Let me taste it now. Really good. You do not need extra salt in this dish. Yummy. And this is something you can make ahead of time, so you're not hassled if you're having a dinner party. Plus, it freezes well. You can take this whole thing and freeze it, and you're ready for guests who drop in unannounced. So, I thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you next time. You can get the recipe at Ravenna Miceli on Facebook, and I urge you to support local farmers markets and organic farming in America.